Hi, I'm Tom. Welcome back to my series of QuakeCon Duel Grand Final retrospectives. We're here, it's 2014, and this is a big one. Cypher versus Dahang. Cypher is back in his 4th QuakeCon Grand Final. If he wins it, he will surpass 0-4 and Rafa and become the most decorated QuakeCon champion in QuakeCon history. This is a really big year. It feels like in 2012 and 2013, things were slowing down, things were dying off. At the end of 2013, DreamHack dropped Quake as well, so now the only major event in the calendar was QuakeCon, but that didn't stop a few really strong European players from rocking up to QuakeCon 2014 after 2012 and 2013 being fairly disappointing from an international participation point of view. Late 2013 was exciting because Tox got back into shape for DreamHack Winter 2013. Lots of people were excited about Toxic. We saw him in QuakeCon 2006. QuakeCon 2007, sorry, we skipped 2006, but he did play in that grand final as well. So Toxic comes to this event and he plays really well, and he actually eliminates Rafa in a 3-1 series, best of 5 series, and then he faces Dahang, who knocks him out 3-0. So the guy who knocks out Rafa has been knocked out cleanly by Dahang. Cypher on his side of the bracket hasn't dropped a map, Dahang on his side of the bracket hasn't dropped a map, and now these two titans clash in our first QuakeCon rematch grand final. Never before in the history of QuakeCon have two players played again in a second grand final. So Dahang has his chance at a rematch against Cypher, and not only that, but this is Dahang's birthday. So today, maybe the stars can align for Dahang. The first map, Aerowalk, I believe was Cypher's choice, and it goes so well for Cypher. Dahang gets a strong opening, but once Cypher gets control, it's just frag after frag. Dahang can't, or he breaks him a few times, but he just can't get things back into gear. He can't get a strong control. He keeps going for these aim engagements. Cypher famously stops mid-map and types, "You rush too much," at him. And this is just Cypher looking like he's having the time of his life. He's moving around, he's hitting lots of shots. So Toxicity, another smaller, faster map. It's going to be interesting to see what Dahang can bring to the table here, because this is beast mode Cypher. He's hitting everything. He's playing like an absolute machine, and also importantly in this tournament, Cypher got his big LAN showdown against Evil. They'd been clashing a lot online. Evil had been upsetting Cypher, like beating him, but also I think emotionally kind of getting to him, right? Cypher, a very emotional player, and this was the LAN where Cypher showed up and demolished Evil 3-0. Evil didn't even stand a chance. So, with all that said, let's get into Toxicity, Cypher versus Dahang, and let's see what is going to happen. What can Dahang do? Like I said, today's his birthday, maybe things are going to go well, and we're on Cypher. Interesting spawn. It's not the spawn you want to see in a grand final. It's messy, it's sloppy, a lot of damage is exchanged. Cypher looks like he's in a good spot to close down this first frag because he gets a better gun, but Dahang hitting some pretty strong plasma there. You've always got to respect that plasma gun on LAN. Players are going to do a lot of damage with it, especially good players. Cypher trying to pick up that little tickle of LG damage just at that 50 HP, but not quite able to do it. Dahang, even with one of these second tier guns, one of these less useful guns, able to make so much, cling on to his life, and I don't know if he's going to be very confident towards this red armor. Actually, a beautiful trap there, perfectly anticipates what Cypher wants, has a really good position, unfortunately gives up the first frag, but does enough damage that he can be happy with how that engagement's gone, especially from such a weird spawn. Toxicity, it's going to be really important. Clean frags are going to play a huge factor here. So Cypher doesn't get a clean frag, and that means that off of the spawn, Dahang with one gun is just able to get that red, and off the back of it, he's in great shape to get this mega. Toxicity is a very small map. I mean, no one's picked up a railgun so far at all, I don't think, almost a minute in, which is insane. But once the railgun starts to come into play with so many angles, so many ways you can punish people off of spawns, clean frags are going to be very important, and we're going to see hopefully these guys try and hold onto some stack and pick up clean frags. Or, if my memory serves, maybe not. We'll see what comes out. Cypher doing what Dahang did earlier, he has a better gun for it now, but he's just trying to hold onto this life for as long as he can, make sure that if he does go down, he deals as much damage on the way to stop Dahang having a decent stack to harass Cypher off of the spawn. Cypher's going to have a hard time even getting that 50 HP bubble. I love his movement there. He sits back further on the platform because Dahang no doubt is going to have a spam rocket going up there. It's just a safer way to play it. Cypher really wants this rail, and Dahang is probably going to hang around and just make sure that Cypher doesn't have an easy time jumping across. Cypher bullied away, forced to play back towards this yellow, and now this rail is going to come into play. Cypher's using this weird little bit of debris beautifully right now to avoid this shot, and just making Dahang's life really, really frustrating. So Dahang going to collect the items on the mega side of the map, gets in close, awkward fight for Cypher. He doesn't hit his rockets at the start, but he hits them at the end. Dahang's going to have his stack fairly weak off the back of that. He can't have much HP, but just in the frantic dive down for that red, you know, Cypher hits his rail and then goes down. So that, that isn't the clean frag that Dahang would have wanted. Cypher trying to control the area up around this mega. It's a good spot to stage a rocket fight. You can get a good opening rocket, and there aren't many good angles to hit with the rail from where Cypher was moving around with Dahang at the bottom of the map. He delays Dahang for a little while, and that means he can respawn onto this red. And now, also getting the rail, you know, he's got a decent stack to play around. Wastes no time moving up to get this LG, hits again. Like, that rail is going to be important, but he takes the little chip of damage and Dahang's able to clean him up. And we are going to see, like, you know, Dahang's off to a good start here, but you are definitely going to see the player out of control on this map give up frags. It is just what happens. And even though Cypher's been giving up frags, you kind of feel him eroding Dahang, right? He's wearing down his stack, he's being annoying, he's doing things like that and playing for neutral frags, and he is now kind of in control of this red armor. Dahang, rocket advantage, position advantage, you know, no surprise Cypher goes down there. And Dahang's aiming really well. He's not being bullied by Cypher's play right now. Cypher just seems to have no regard for anything Dahang wants to do. He just wants to play his game, to take positions, to be annoying, to hit really great shots. Excellent spawn pressure from Dahang. You know, Cypher does take that rail before the yellow, so if he gets onto more HP, it's actually not too bad for him, but it does clean up a lot of the HP, and as the out-of-control player, you are more likely to be depending on those HP bubbles to just stay alive. Beautiful LG. Again, Cypher hitting like an absolute truck. Dahang just collects that mega. There was no sound cue there, or no sound cue I could hear, but he does pick it up during that, but Cypher pretty much shaves it off straight away with that LG. Cypher forced to play around these yellows, and you know, he's rarely had over 100 armor in this matchup so far. Dahang, he's going to be sitting pretty at, you know, probably what, 150 right now? 150 armor, about 100 HP, something like that. Cypher looks for a good opening rocket. And 5 frag lead for Dahang here is going to be fairly comfortable. He rocket jumps up towards the 50 HP position. That is the strongest spot on the map, and it's a good spot to be before this red. If he gets established here, he can kind of be annoying. Actually goes across for that rail, probably needed ammo. He can stop Cypher coming out here. Cypher seems a little bit unsure of that mega time, but he does get it. He can stop Cypher getting anywhere near that red, and Cypher, he's playing the corners, he's playing the rocket angles, plays very, very confidently to get onto that yellow armor, and such good prediction there. Somehow Cypher doesn't pick up the yellow armor and all of that, but he has done so much to Dahang here. Crazy rockets. I want to go back. I want to go back. Because this rocket placement is just so good. Like, getting that bounce is phenomenally hard. If Cypher picks up the yellow in that situation as well, I feel like he maybe could have even won that fight, but Dahang does go up another frag. Now, this is looking really good for Dahang right now, but Toxicity is a map where frags can swing around really quickly. You know, a 6 frag lead here is not comfortable, not with half the map still to go, and Dahang does finally go down off of that. All this damage Cypher's doing finally catches up, and, you know, Cypher out-damaging Dahang at this point. Spawn frag comes out, and this is why the map's scary. There was really nothing Dahang could do there. Cypher, off the back of his frag, you know, he has the mega, he has the yellow armors. Red is going to be up in just a second. Dahang in a very annoying spot here. Cypher's going to try and get in his face, in spite of this plasma. Actually, decent spacing for him with the LG there to be trading off well in that fight. Again, looks for the spawn. Can he hit the rail? He can't. Dahang plays around that little bit of debris really well. We saw Cypher do the same thing earlier. Ooh, awkward exchange there for Cypher. I don't think he means to end up with Dahang in his face quite like that. Dahang puts the pressure down off the spawn, but he hasn't anticipated the mega pickup. So Cypher able to slip away from this one. He still has the weapon advantage, and he can still pressure Dahang. Where did that rail come from? Is that the one Dahang died with and left there before? Maybe. Anyway, Dahang had a rail, an unexpected rail. Which almost ended in disaster for Cypher, but Cypher gets the frag and then gets the red off the back of it as well. Again, Cypher able to deny one of these yellow armors, and in comes yet another spawn frag, and just like that, Dahang's lead is gone. So, you know, this is kind of why giving up any frags on this map can be so scary. Cypher was able to get a frag, get an item, and then the spawn frags just come together. Dahang goes for this yellow armor. he has a good advantage with the rockets. Cypher ducks under a rocket, and we are going to watch a little replay of that because it is such a clutch moment. I remember jumping out of my seat when that happened. I caught this game live back in 2014. And Cypher just chips away. Dahang surely expects to get that frag, right? Or even if he doesn't, right? I actually think that's a mission successful for Dahang right there. He does so much damage with the rockets. He doesn't have much off of that spawn, but he's able to play a really strong position and use the right gun to deal damage to Cypher in the right way, and then just waste a bunch of time, right? Something surely is going to come up here for him. Unfortunately, he gets a spawn with no guns. And I don't know if that's a force from Cypher. I don't know if Cypher kind of anticipates that or if it is just a bit of bad luck for Dahang. And again, off the back of doing all that damage, all he's going to have to play with is that plasma gun. He decides to go for the red, which means that he gets a lot of damage chipped off of him. He's not going to be healthy. Nice bounce again for Cypher. Mega comes up. And there it's almost like that delay for Dahang works against him, right? Like, he isn't able to get the gun, so Cypher gets enough damage to deny the red armor. And there's also not enough time for Dahang to get a weapon and then push onto that Mega. You know, just this sometimes is toxicity. Dahang's going to be weak, playing towards his 50 HP. It's a good position. You can always hear where your opponent's coming from, and then you can always run away. There are some long sight lines towards it. A 50 HP does come up now. Cypher's going to have it for him when he rocket jumps away. Beautiful shot on Dahang there. Oh. And again, you know, Dahang getting absolutely punished off of these spawns. You can't expect Cypher to be hitting these shots, you know, consistently. And yet he is. That spawn punish in particular is just so tight. Again, Dahang has the right kind of idea, but he's got no stack to back it up. And so one shot from Cypher means that he can just push in and get this frag again. And again, you can see Cypher 150, 100, more or less. You know, it's so easy for him to hang around and commit to these fights and look for this spawn pressure. The rail doesn't come out, but he does still have a stack advantage. Oh, especially denying that yellow. It's so important. Mega up in a second, Cypher in position for it. Dahang has actually held on to what stack he has, what armor he has collected. And he's done a little bit of a chip onto Cypher. I love it. Cypher thinks about the rail, not feeling good about it, able to swap away to the OG. Cypher still has the stack to continue this punish though. He's feeling so good about this, and his movement in that fight is so clean. He's making himself hard to rocket, which again is just going to favor these OG situations where, you know, if he has the stack advantage, it's going to be hard for Dahang to out-LG Cypher in this form. All he needs to do is keep dodging rockets, keep picking good situations where he can continue to OG, and these fights are going to keep going this way. Dahang again tries to get in with the rockets, he goes for the jump, he knows that Cypher's weak, he just wants to close out a frag so that he can try and swing some momentum back, and Dahang, he is crushed, he is defeated, and he forfeits the last 2 minutes of the game. And Toxicity can be like that, right? Now, I actually wanted to watch Arrow Walk in this series. I think this Arrow Walk is insane. Cypher, you know, again, it's quite similar to this map. Dahang gets off to a good start. Cypher just pushes and pushes and pushes and damages and damages and damages. Dahang almost tries to play the same game back, but isn't able to do it. On this map, it feels like Dahang tries to play rockets into Cypher's super powerful OG, right? And if you look at the damage breakdown for Cypher there, you know, it's no surprise to see he did the most with OG there. He really farmed off a lot of damage onto Dahang when Dahang was trying to rocket him. But the Arrow Walk, it's a crime that through this series we're not going to see Cypher play Arrow Walk. I'm going to have to come back. I'm going to have to revisit Arrow Walk from this series, but unfortunately, it didn't work. But unfortunately, the demo basically broke Wolfcam. It would just crash occasionally, which was a huge pity. I tried to record earlier today 4 or 5 times, and every single time, even if I skipped over troublesome sections of the demo, a new section would pop up that crashed the whole program. And off the back of this, Cypher smashes the first map, he smashes the second map, Dahang forfeits, and then Cypher smashes the third map as well, and becomes the first person to ever win 4 QuakeCon Grand Finals. 2008, 2010, 2012, and 2014. And his performance at this tournament is monstrous. He doesn't drop a map the whole tournament. Dahang also doesn't drop a map until the grand final and then goes down 3-0. These guys just seemed like they were a step ahead of everyone else here. I remember how exciting this grand final was to watch live. Cypher just executes out of his mind. The grand final was like a flash in a pan. It was over so quickly. Dahang just couldn't answer Cypher's style of play in this. And you could really feel him trying to do something to push back, trying to play this aggressive game back, but he just wasn't able to break through. Cypher's execution was too good. Cypher was able to pick, on this map we saw just LG fight after LG fight that benefited exactly what he wanted to do. And even when Dahang did something well, when he made that really good push, he didn't get the spawns he needed to swing the momentum around, and I think that just broke him. But when this game was being played, we were in a voice chat, we were absolutely losing our mind. When Cypher ducks onto the rocket, we were screaming, we were shouting. It was a really special grand final, and I have really fond memories of this grand final. So this is a really great one, and we're going to be back in 2015 for another really exciting grand final and another rematch grand final. So I'll see you then. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been Tom, and I'll catch you next time.